Hi, fam. So, what comes into your mind when you think about the leadership of Africa as a whole? And to be precise, what do you think about Kenya's leadership? Do you think that the problems that we have are problems of the people, generated by the people, or these are problems that are manufactured by the political class? Well, our own president, our one and only, has the answer to all this.
Period. The biggest problem we have in Kenya is not money. It is leadership. Period.
Na unajua lazima tuambiane ukweli, shida ya Kenya ni shida ya uongozi. Wananchi hawa hawana shida.
The problem is not the citizens of Kenya. The problem is the leadership. Na kwa sababu kiongozi badala ya kwenda kuongoza, anaenda kutafuta kura. How can you look for votes forever? Everything unafanya unachunga tu kutafuta kura. What is this?
Mumesikia hiyo maneno ama bado haijafika huko kwenu? Imefika? Na mbona hamsemi? Mumesikia hiyo maneno ama bado haijafika huko kwenu? Imefika? Na mbona hamsemi?
Well, there you have it. Who else can give you a better answer but William Samoei Ruto? The problems of Kenya has never been you, the citizen. The problems of Kenya has never been me or you, the taxpayer. The problems of Kenya or any other country in Africa, they are politically manufactured. And they are meant to be that way so that the political class can consolidate power and gain control over us. That's where the divide and rule comes in play. That's where the divide and rule comes in play. And that's why, if you realize, long time ago, before the colonial governments, before all that, people used to live together as communities with chiefs and leaders who, would collaborate and come together, and there was no division. People didn't even realize their tribal lines, people existed as human beings, as Kenyans, as people of a certain region, until the colonial government came and they were like, we need to consolidate power. We need to rule over people. Then what happens? The divide and rule. They divided people into ethnicities, into tribal lines, into so many other things, and also the religion. So they gained control because now they made you believe, they made you see you are the person that you've been living with for the longest time, as a Kikuyu, as a Luo, as a Kisii, as a Kale, as any other tribe that has ever existed in Kenya, in Africa. So they brought about the divide and rule. And this is something that has been happening in Kenya for the longest time ever. The political class thrive in these divisions. This is where their power is. The moment all the communities in Kenya, the 42 or 44 or 43 tribes, realize how much power we hold when we can unite, then the political class will submit. They will uphold the rule of law. They will uphold the Constitution of Kenya as a governing tool. But now they don't, because we are divided, because we speak about tribal, because we look at leadership as a reward for a certain community, and that is the politics of identity. Like, we have to vote for a Kale because we are Kale. We have to vote for a Kisii because we are Kisis. We have to vote in for a Kikuyu because we are Kikuyu, so that they can protect our community. The politics of identity, instead of even us, being able to look at one's integrity, the principles of leadership, the good governance kind of quality. We never even sometimes look at the merits. Like, this is how other countries developed. This is how the first world countries developed. They developed not because they didn't have such kind of challenges. They did. But they were able to look at the problems and focus. They were able to realize that they can only build their countries to become first world countries from uniting and focus with the real problem. The real problem is the education system. The real problem is infrastructure, is development, is cultural and economic developments that the government is supposed to bring in place, not who's coming from what community. That's never a problem. That's how Singapore, Japan, China, they build their countries. So these are the things that were brought about, the challenges, the problems were brought about by the political class so that they can maintain power. Ruto just said it. He is the problem of Kenya. And so is other leaders that were there before him, Akina Uhuru Kenyatta, Moi, Kibaki, brought about a lot of developments. But I just want you to see government, or rather these political leaders, as political cousins. They all have one thing in common: protecting their own interest. And that is one thing that they will always have in common. Look at them throwing words here, there, like that. But whenever it comes for them to unite, to protect their own political interests, they don't think about me and you. They think about them first and their families. And that's why they will scrabble their health, national health, because they can afford to go abroad for treatment. They will scrabble their education system because they take their kids into international schools, but you are left there with public schools. So basically everything that they do was for you. They don't conform to those systems. They don't conform to our education system. Their kids don't go to the normal public systems that they've built for you. They go to international schools. Same as hospitals. We don't even have hospitals that can, suffice their need for these chronic diseases. But when they get sick, they fly to Dubai, to India, wherever, US, name it, Australia. But for us, we are left with the broken systems. And this is how bad it is. This is how the leadership, this is how people in power have made our country. And this is why they make people like the US, the Australia, and all the other countries, our leaders are the ones who make these people see us the way they see ourselves, the way they perceive about ourselves. Africa is capable. Kenya is capable. We have the resources. We got the youthful generation that is creative, can bring about innovation and so many other things. But when people outside Africa, they look at us, what do they see? They see us looking, or they associate us looking like people who lead us with PhDs. Anyway, I do not want to digress, but you get the point. The problems of Africa, the problems of Kenya, are politically manufactured by the political class. And it's such an irony that the president can say that himself, while he knows he's the problem of Kenya. What a joke.